Hello everyone, this is Gorax. In today's video I'll show you how to do 8 million at Sammaster at Dungeons & Dragons Collab boss. 8 million will give you all the daily maximum rewards and we will use a rare only team which everyone should have. Before I show you the team, just a reminder about the rules of this boss. All heroes will be fixed at level 100 regardless of their current level. You can challenge and save damage once per day, and the boss will transform in 3.5 days, which will grant it new skills, so in 4 days. Well, depending on where it started early on the test server, we'll have a new boss. But for the time being, we'll be playing against Sammaster. So I'll go quickly over the skills of the boss. Sammaster and his DragonHeir take 50% additional damage when Elminster is deployed. I'm not gonna show a team with Elminster today, I'll show it in the other days. For each debuff on Sammaster, he takes 10% additional damage. He'll become in a weakened state thanks to that. The DragonHeir lets out a howl, dealing necrotic damage to all enemies and inflicting fear for 5 seconds on enemies whose HP is below 50%. It's quite important to either bring control immunity or keep our team above 50%. The DragonHeir deals necrotic damage to all enemies and removes their shields. So as we know, Elminster will grant shields quite quickly, so even if they get removed, they will pop again. And then we have Withering Breath deals multi-hit. This is the ultimate to all enemies. This skill deals 50% additional damage when Sammaster is not inflicted with any debuff. So this is why it's important to bring heroes who can apply debuff, which can be burn, poison, or even attack penalty. He's immune to all control effects, and each cast of Withering Breath, which is the ultimate, grants a permanent stack of total bonus damage, which is 20%. So he'll be stacking this bonus. And the developers made it really easy this season because we only need 8 million compared to, I think it was 10 last. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. So I've tried a few different teams. I've tried the pay to win and etc. But the team that I'm going to show you today is the one that was able to do over 8 million damage easily. There's no even skill time in here. The only important thing to note is all of these rare heroes have skills maxed out, but you probably used them in the content you've been playing. You should have Hexandra with max skill. All these stats are prefixed, okay? They're fixed for the hero, so your stats will be the same as mine. The only difference is the skill levels, so hopefully you have enough scrolls to max these heroes, and also the affinity bonus. So keep in mind that at this stage, depending on where you are actually in the game, but this team is working with almost maxed affinity. So if you look at the affinity, the psychic core, I have it almost maxed. There's only few damage reduction missing. This is for those of you who started when I started. Basically, the few earlier servers, they will be developed like that. It might be harder to do it without this affinity, but I'm going to show you a rare only team which you can improve. I bet you even as a free-to-play player at this point, you have some legendary heroes and epic as well. So the team I'm going to show you is this one as follows. We use the equipment palm, but there's no equipment. Look at this. The equipment doesn't boost the stats. They all have prefix stats. And we're using Hexandra. We don't need tank here, by the way. The boss is not doing auto attacks. He's just casting spells. So that's why we're not running a tank. Hexandra for heals. You need at least one healer. 2 are good as well. We using Jigel. We want debuffs. He's got healing prohibition here. He also steals ultimate. He's got attack penalty as well. Now, the thing you need to remember, and if you play Drizzt event, you are aware of it, supports will do less damage. They crit rate and crit damage is low compared to proper damage dealers like poison heroes or burn heroes, for example, see support here, 1050, but if we go for burn hero Durham, 100%, okay? So you need at least 2-3 damage sources. And although some heroes might do a lot of damage being support, they will not do that damage here. So keep that in mind, and I'm using Jigel here for healing prohibition, attack penalty, but there are so many other options if you want to replace him since he's support. And we got affinity, poison plus lightning, so you can bring in Irina, who will work in a similar fashion. We got attack penalty too here, right? There's so many different options to go. I mean, there's even more poison heroes. You can bring Sigrid for attack penalty, healing prohibition, but I'm bringing him for this ultimate still, because then we have Letalis, who's support as well, so he's not going to do damage, but he's got healing reduction. He's got as well as attack penalty every time he deals damage, which means auto attacks as well, so this attack penalty upkeep will be high. And we're also using Dange to apply poison. Dange will also do damage. As you can see, he's got accuracy at 250. So he will always hit these poisons. He will also crit constantly. So he's doing damage while also applying poison, which counts as 1 debuff. Okay, 10 poison doesn't count as 10 debuffs, but it will always keep the boss debuffed, and we are avoiding the boss's ultimate 50% additional damage. Okay, this is important to mitigate that damage because we're only running 1 healer here, and we got Ally to deal damage. He does an additional damage when the target has poison, and that's why we're using him. Ally is probably one of the best rares to deal damage on bosses because he does so much damage. There are obviously viable replacements. If you want to move to more damage oriented, you can bring Corin to refresh the poison stacks. I mean, there's so many choices. You can bring Ekis. She's got recharge speed penalty as well. That's from this team. I mean, you can even bring Furbab to boost the healing. You don't need a tank, but he's got healing plus attack penalty. But then you also have so many good epic heroes like Shuk, like Iola as well. So yeah, there's multiple options to play with, and you can replace even poison heroes if you want with the Dauntless team. And that will work as well. As you can see, they still have this crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy. But this is the team that was the easiest to make, and I believe in Season 2, or even at the end of Season 1, those heroes are really easy to obtain. There's nothing outstanding, and let's just look at the damage that I've done on my first try. Quickly transition here. As you can see, 9.1 million, which is what we needed. Okay, I don't want to play the whole fight because, as you can see, it's 7-minute fight and it's not really appealing. It's just you hitting the boss, but just to give you an idea how the fight looks, as you can see, the boss is not doing anything. He's waiting to cast the skill, then he casts the skill, and we don't even have anything on the rotation. We're just basically spamming skills, right? So now the boss will deal a 50% increased damage if he has no debuff on, and he's got so many. And look at this, you see this vulnerability plus 10% damage. When we apply any other debuff on top of the poison that we have constantly, we are getting extra damage, right? So that's why bringing in someone like Dange who can apply poison constantly, or if you want to go for the burn team, and I have that prepared as well, I'll cover that in a separate video, like going over better teams, but you don't really need to, like, there's no ranking here, so just do the damage and move on with your day. So yeah, as long as you can bring someone like burn hero, one burn hero and wild team to deal more damage, and just basically someone who can apply a debuff. And yeah, this team works really well, and the rotation is really simple. It's 18 seconds, but we can't really reduce the cooldown on our heroes, so I just use it on auto. And as you can see, Ally and Dange will be the main damage dealers here, and everyone else is supporting, okay? And yeah, this works. I mean, again, 9 million damage, and you need only 8. So just do it. There's no reason not to. And please let me know if you manage to recreate it, because obviously this requires your rare heroes to have max skills, and affinity as well. If you don't have affinity, then you need to replace one of these supports with extra damage dealer, all right? I know you have them, okay? I know you have at least one epic poison hero. In this case, will work wonders, especially with Dench applying it. As you can see, Dench, despite not doing too much damage, usually in the teams that we create, he's doing good damage here because he has the proper stats here that we don't need to worry. So if you bring another poison damage dealer instead of Jygel, I will replace Jygel instead of Letalis. Letalis has this attack penalty constantly, so that's something we can use. Your damage will go up, and this is basically a base, and you adjust, okay? You find the team that works for you the best, but I give you something that will definitely work and get you the max rewards daily. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you for watching, stay safe, bye!